Mommy spelled asshole, and that's the toilet word.
Welcome to Life Under the Laundry Pile, airing it all out, one conversation at a time.
What's up, girl?
Hi. What?
What up?
So I literally just said to Heather, like, I'm going to try hard because I got this fancy new secret decoder pen. I stole from one of the kids.
It's kind of vulgar looking, actually.
And it looks like a gigantic infected penis. But so I'm like, I'm going to try not to click it. But if I do, please smack me. So then I hit record, and what's the first thing I fucking do? Click, click, click.
And I look over at her, and she's jumping with her hands up like, you know, magic. It's magic.
It's a secret decoder. Like, I can write messages, and then I shine this light.
That's one of those... Oh, my God, it has a light. Okay,
Yeah.
You guys remember when we were in elementary school? Well, those of us who are the same age. Those pens were one of the most coveted things ever. It's the, you know, the nurse... We called it a nurse's pen because you could push down the different sides. But hers has a damn flashlight on it. How crazy is that? And now she's looking at, like, stains on the carpet with it. This is not CSI, dear.
There better not be any stains on this floor.
Oh, so hi.
Hi. Do you want to do the social media crap before we... I mean, the social media information before we get any
I
further.
will. But I did have a couple of shout-outs.
No. Social media first and then shout out.
She's not very nice.
It's going to drive her nuts, and that's why I'm doing it, because now we're going out of order. Do it.
If you look at both of our sheets, mine says shout outs first and yours does too. Okay, whatever. Okay. We have some really exciting news to tell you guys. We've had several people, and we also had a discussion about opening up a group page on Facebook because that's just where the cool people hang out. So we now have a Life Under the Laundry Pile podcast group page.
Right.
All you have to do is just type in Life Under the Laundry Pile podcast group in the top search box, and it'll pop up for you. So add your friends, add your enemies. Like I said before, we all like a good meme.
Right.
You can share whatever you want. Nothing's too crass.
But don't be a jerk either. Like, it's not... If you fight, you're out. Yeah, you know, if you get offended, keep scrolling.
Yes, if you're offended very easily, which I would hope you're not because you listen to us on a regular basis. But if you're offended easily, just know that our group page is also not suitable for work. So go join it. Go add your friends. You know, feel free to post on it. We also have a Pinterest page that is... been really latent for a while. So
no, we suck. I mean,
we do. I'm sorry. But if you guys want to go and look at it and see what we got, we're gonna soon do a summer episode where we put, you know, add some summer drinks and recipes and maybe books that you want to read by the pool. So we hope to get back to the Pinterest page again. We also have a Facebook page, like I mentioned. We have an Instagram, pretty Instagram. We have Twitter, which is Copper's favorite. And we have a website that is soon to be a .com.
Yes, because we are coming up on our 1 year anniversary, and we always said that if we're still doing this 1 year later, we were going to actually make it. I'm sorry, I just had a thought cross my mind, but like we were going to make it official after 1 year and actually get the .com and, you know, get our name set up. I'm laughing because we are celebrating 20 years of wedded bliss this month.
Happy anniversary.
Thank you. And Matt's going to blow a fucking gasket when he hears this, because here I am saying to you, it's been a year. I feel like we've committed enough that we can commit to a website. And it's been 20 years since our wedding day, and I've yet to change my name legally. So...
Really?
I just have him like, he's going to blow a gasket when he hears this, because yeah.
Oh. Are you kidding on your...
No.
On your All your
my
papers?
Social Security and everything is still my maiden name. So,
Okay.
like my I've been using my married name
Right.
the entire time, but like my Social Security card is still
I gotcha.
my maiden name. So,
Well, that's funny because I thought you were going to say we're going to consummate our relationship by .comming it. But you know what's really funny? You just reminded me.
no, I'm going to think of that now from now. Like, if we're going to consummate it by .comming it.
And you totally reminded me. This month is our 19th wedding anniversary.
Woo, look at us!
I'm like, oh God, this is May, isn't it?
Yeah.
Technically, April 24th was our 19th wedding
Oh,
anniversary.
okay.
But
Okay.
we celebrate the day we walk down the aisle. But how funny that it took you saying that.
Are they 2 different
to-
days?
Yes. We actually got married in the pastor's office April 24th on my birthday. And then we got married in the church on May 23rd.
Why is that? Why was it 2 different days?
You know what? We did it so that he could save money out of state tuition for college.
Okay. Very
So,
romantic. Very
yeah,
romantic.
Extremely.
Yeah.
But I totally forgot. If you had not said anything about it, that day would have just slipped by. Let's see if my husband remembers it. I think I'm going to try that.
Yeah,
I'm not
see
going to
what
say
happens.
a word.
Don't.
All hell
That's
will break
not really
loose.
fair because you guys have a lot going on right now. And to be honest, you did almost forget too.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm a bitch. I cannot believe that.
Ours is the 17th, so it's coming up here pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll probably do nothing, which is fine. Poor guy. He had tried to like. He didn't want to tell me. So last year was the first time he really surprised me. We went to Austin for the weekend. It was really nice. It was the first time we had been on our own since the kids were born. And then so this year, he just mentioned the other day, and he started his new job, so he will get as much vacation time, but he doesn't have it right off the bat.
Right.
So he's like, I'm kind of working out a way to get a few days off of work, and I'm stupid. I'm not even thinking. I get chicken wings in front of me, so I'm not thinking straight anyway. I'm like, why would you need a couple days off work? He's like, well, I was thinking we could get away again. And I felt so bad, but I had to be like, oh, yeah, no, we can't do that. Like, it's swim season. It's end of school year. There's too much going on right now. I'm not going to be able to, just drop it and walk away. I'm like, you're going to have to wait.
Yeah. Oh. Well, if it makes him feel any better, if it makes you feel any better, Matt, we will do nothing for our anniversary.
Right.
But I will tell you, I have told Lloyd for the past 2 years, on our 20th, we're going to Hawaii. We are going to Hawaii. I might have to walk there. I mean...
Okay, Jesus.
I mean, as most of you know, I do not like to fly.
We'll just get you sedated. It'll be fine.
Oh, my God.
It'll be fine.
But
Just
I
think
did-
of what you would get when you get there. You'll get a lay.
Yeah. I'm already getting hives thinking about it. I don't even have plans or a plane ticket, but yeah, no, do not like to fly. So now can I do the shout outs?
Oh, yeah.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say maybe if Matt really wants to, maybe he could send me to California in August for our anniversary.
Yeah.
He won't, but that's okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll let you guys know what ends up being the
What's August?
podcast movement.
Okay. Isn't that horrible that I'm like, I have no clue. I don't keep up with that side. She like knows all these dates for stuff for the podcast
I know
world.
all these people and everything, and
Yeah. I'm the silent partner over here.
silent is not a word I've ever used to describe
I'm
you.
silent but deadly. Okay,
All
so
right.
now I can do the
Yeah,
shout
let's
out?
do the shout outs now. Are you
All right.
going to do Jess? Because I'm the one that said we would give her a shout out, but you go ahead.
You do it.
No, you do it.
You already said her name.
I already
damn
said her
it.
name, so ha, blew the wad. Go ahead.
I'm going to give a shout out to Alana, who lives here where we live. Thank you so much. I had no idea you listened. She was very sweet yesterday at the school. I saw her and she said, I just listened to your latest episode and she said it was really funny. So thank you, Alana.
I knew you listened.
And the second shout out goes to
Jess Watford,
from
New Zealand.
Isn't that amazing?
We are world famous.
Yeah, and partly, or in part, partly because of her suggestion, we decided to go ahead and,
Yes.
pop the wad
Make
on
the
the group page, whatever the term
Don't
is.
pop the
I don't
wad.
even know what the hell. But yes, thank you, Jess. You were the final nail in the coffin where we said, yes, we're gonna get in your face again.
So Jess, the funny thing about that is that she had posted on one of the pages we follow that she had a really long flight, which makes sense. I mean, she lives in New Zealand, so pretty much anywhere is a long flight. and she had listed the podcast that she listened to, and there we were, right in the middle. I
Yes.
mean, there were all these big podcasts, and then there was Heather and I. So.
Yes, so thank you. You and
Yeah.
Stacy Peel also was very nice to
Yes.
say, you know. So yes, we have 3 fans.
Well, I don't
maybe
know.
5.
Stacy may not have been. Stacy was like, "So I got a shout out. What did you get?"
So like, if you want to shout out, just
Yeah.
let us know. Talk about us somewhere. We'll find it. I promise. I literally like search in the box on the groups to find out if anybody talked about us or not. If it's bad, I really don't want to know.
Yeah, we don't listen.
No.
Yeah. So we this past weekend started. Maggie and Jack have been doing swim.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine. Like, it's a 2.5 month commitment. It's a big commitment, but it's only 2.5 months. It's going really well, and they love it. But we had our first like swim meet. It was like the time trial, so it wasn't really. It's official, but it's not as.
It's not a race.
It's kind of like a practice, right? They're just getting their time set so that they can be in the meets and everything. Poor Jackie. I text you from there because my little buddy, like, he has so much spirit. He just loves it, and he's having a great time, and he loves everybody. But, man, he just cannot swim to save his life. So he's doing the backstroke, and he gets to about the middle of the pool, and he's going around in a circle. And then he doesn't have any endurance because he's, an asthmatic kid that we threw into the pool, which is kind of mean. So he's just hanging out on the rope, and then everyone starts cheering for him, and they're like, "Go, buddy!" And then when he gets to the end, finally, like, everybody, like, literally, and parents would clap for their kids and stuff, and it wasn't a huge deal. I mean, it was a big deal, because they all deserve, praise. But when he got to the end of the pool, everybody clapped, and it made him feel much better because he's like, "I didn't think I was gonna make it, Mommy." And it was really far, and I'm like, "I know, buddy." He's like, "But I think everyone clapped." I'm like, "I think they did too." So he was really happy about that. But then it kicked up his breathing got really bad after that, so he got to stay home yesterday from school because we did some breathing treatments, and we actually didn't stay home. There was no need to. So we went to Michael's and everything, and IHOP, and it was fun to spend the day with him because I don't get to do that very often. So even though I didn't make him change, so he had his pajamas on like the entire day.
You took him to the store in his pajamas?
Yeah. Because I wasn't really going to take him out. We were just going to drop brother off at school and then come back home. But then, I'm like, well, let's go to Michael's real quick. And then that turned into Lowe's. And then he had to have pancakes because it had been like 2 hours since he ate. So then we were at IHOP, and he's wearing his flash pajamas, which are about 4 inches too short on him. But it was a really fun day. But it was kind of funny because he's sitting there, and I'm watching him, but they had like a Mad Lib thing on their little kids menu. Mm-hmm. He's reading it. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, when it hits you that, like, that they've made that, he's not struggled with reading, but he, up to a certain point, has not been super proficient at it either. So, but it was very smooth, and he knew all the words. I'm like, oh, all right. So no more spelling shit out in front of him now. So, yeah. That's what's going on with me. What's going on with you?
Not much.
Maggie rocked it at the swim thing, by the way. I'm just saying my daughter's awesome. But yeah, you go ahead.
Thanks. Not much. We're still in kind of a holding pattern.
Yeah.
We're still, we are in the home stretch. We have about 4 weeks left before school's out, and we can leave and go to Tennessee. But other than that, nothing. Soccer games, soccer practice, which I'll be so damn glad when that shit's over. Not much. We're just kind of hanging in there, literally by our toenails, it feels like. No one wants to go to school anymore.
No.
I don't want to make lunches. I don't want to even make them a snack or a water bottle. No one wants to do homework.
I feel like that is a general description of any household at this point in time.
I totally have given up. Yeah. Totally. And the kids have. They say, "Can't we leave early?" or "How much longer do we have? I'm tired of going to school." And I'm like, I get it. I do. I think and my sister-in-law, she's a teacher, and she feels the same way. She knows. She can tell you exactly how many days there are left until school's out.
I think one of the biggest problems for us is our school district I'm not blaming them for anything. I don't
It goes so long.
Well, no, it's not that they go long. I'm fine with how many days we need in school. However, there's such a gap between our spring break and the end of the school year.
Well, spring break is in damn March here.
It was the beginning
nuts.
of March. The beginning of March. So essentially it's 3 months between those two.
Yeah. That's hard. I can remember when it used to be April, like mid-April, late April, which was, perfect because it gives you an even space between both. Right. But
So like that between Christmas and spring break, you have half days, you have days you're off, you really don't even have like a month and a half worth of school, and then you have this 3 month stretch, and it's hard.
It is.
Nobody cares.
No.
Nobody cares at this point.
No. So that's about it. I mean, we're about to head out to my mom's for a week to get out, just to get out for a while.
Don't look in your trunk because I'm planning on coming along.
So other than that, when we come back, hopefully time will go by quickly after that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to leave my friends, but it's the walls are starting to close in on us.
The thing of when it's temporary, it becomes a lot more painful, I think.
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time that we've been in a holding pattern, knowing we were going to go somewhere else, it's always, it starts getting harder and harder to do that day to day when you know that you need to move on. So, and it always seems like we've always had like lots of notice. Those have been the most painful moves because, you can only say goodbye so many times.
Right.
You can only, not make permanent plans so many times. When you can't see into the future, it's hard.
Right. I know. And I have to say, it'll be very weird that day that we drive off and leave because I've been there and I've unpacked most of our things and I know where we're going, but for the kids,
it's all a mystery.
It's going to be so weird for them because it's almost like, well, I think because they've not moved since they were very small, they're going to look at it as a road trip.
Right.
But I guess once they get there and realize, hey, we're not leaving, this is our stuff, then it'll be, it'll be a whole different game. But yeah, I'm that's it. Like literally not much else. Just a holding pattern. Life in limbo. That needs to be that's my phrase.
Life in limbo.
So what are we talking about this week? This is number 30.
Number 30.
Yep, 30. This week we're talking about 6 people, maybe more than 6 people, but our original goal, 6 people doing shit the right way.
Yeah.
So, which basically is 6 people that we each picked 3 that we kind of thought, had the right idea, had it going on for different reasons. Yeah. And I don't know hers, and she doesn't know mine. But I think we have a mutual.
Yeah, we have a mutual one.
But yeah, for different reasons. So, so you go. You tell. We'll take turns.
Do you want me to do the mutual one first?
Yeah, let's do the mutual one first.
Okay. So
because you can pronounce her name much better than I can.
Don't give me too much. I looked it up. That's how I can pronounce it. Because I was afraid I
butchered it.
I wanted to give her respect, so I looked it up, and I'm probably still going to butcher it. But Bhumi Ladithan, she is a author, blogger, social media specialist, kind of, along the same lines as what we do. She has 3 books. I believe it's only the 3. I'm not sure if there's more, and I apologize if there is. It's Confessions of a Domestic Failure, which just came out.
Which is really stinking funny.
Yes. Toddlers Are A-Holes, which is true.
Yeah.
And The Honest Toddler, which is a child's guide to raising parents. So, the thing that I really like the most about her is there's a lot of us out there. And there are certain ones that, I'm going to be honest, I really don't care for them because it always feels like they're trying to either make things way too shiny and perfect. Like
when you say us, you need to clarify.
Social media, mom, parenting, podcast, blogging, writers, that kind of, whatever category we fall under. Yeah, I don't know. So whatever that is, there's a lot of us out there. And you have a lot where I'm getting to the point where some of them I'm like, you need to stop because everything seems to be over the top. It's too shiny.
I agree.
I can smell your bullshit from here.
I agree. Yeah.
You're not funny. You're just working way too hard.
You try exactly. Right. You just hit it right there. I was going to say it's those writers, bloggers, whatever who are trying so hard. Like you said, you can smell it.
Right.
You're like, you got to stop.
And I'm not. Some of it is the ones that take the pride in being a hot mess, which I'm a hot mess. You're a hot mess. I get
Own it.
But they go to the point where you're like, you're not really that big of a fucking hot mess. We all know that, and it's fine. But don't call it what it is, you know,
Right.
like, hey, I made the story right, and like that did not really happen.
Yeah, you're talking about there is the other end of the
Right,
extreme, and
right.
I do follow a few people who are that way, who
Yes.
take pride in saying this is how hot mess of a life
right,
there is.
right.
So,
Which, you know, it is to some extent, but some of it, and I'm not going to name anybody, but
Embellished.
there are a few where you can just, you know, that they're just trying way too hard.
Yeah.
And to the other extent, there's the ones that have the shiny little,
happy people.
I
Shiny
call
happy
it
people.
the Instagram life.
Yeah, right.
Where, you know, you're like, it's not that perfect. And we all know those two. Like,
Yeah.
you know that it's not right. Well, here's the thing about Boomy. Like, she's right in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
She's a hot fucking mess.
Yes. But she owns it. She's real.
Right.
When she writes, you know she's real.
when I say she's a hot mess, she'll say, you guys, I've literally had a pot of half-eaten mac and cheese sitting on my stove for a week.
Which is
Because
real. That's
I
what real people...
can't bring myself to wash this pan.
Right.
You know why I like her? Because I can totally see myself having a pan of mac and cheese sitting on
No,
there.
she's very relatable.
She's very real.
Yes.
She's very honest about her struggles with alcohol. She's very honest about her struggles with mental health. Her marriage problem. She's very honest about that. She has she's been on the search for a religion that she can connect to. And although I'm not a religious person, I really respect someone that says, you know, I want to believe. I need to find just where I'm comfortable. So she recently, I'm sure some of you have only heard about her recently because she
went viral.
went viral. She's gone viral a couple times, and recently she has declared her house a homework-free zone, which I believe then she has now made the choice that, not that she got flack for it, but she's made the choice to homeschool, which is something she's working on before, which doesn't necessarily, because of the homework situation, it was something she was contemplating before that, but she recently went viral for an email she sent her fourth graders teacher that said they'll no longer be doing homework. And although I don't have a huge issue with reasonable homework, I have an issue with homework that takes up all of their time, and I have an issue with homework that causes anxiety in a child. Yeah. Like, I mean, if it's ruining their love for learning, there's a problem with it.
Right.
Luckily, we've never had that issue, so I do not pretend to.
I can kind of relate to that one. I think we've touched on that nerve with Landon this year. I'm fearful that that's what's happened to him.
I don't know, like, in our situation, if it's been rough, I mean, not rough, like, if it's difficult and you need to figure out, that's one thing, not the difficulty of the homework, but if it's the point where their mindset's not right or just there's too much going on, we don't stress about homework.
No, we don't either. No, we don't. And we've been very lucky that, you know,
it's never been an issue, you know.
Right.
So.
But no. And that was one of the reasons that I chose her too, was because I was all on board with the homework thing, you know.
I actually do believe that homework is healthy to an extent. I think that some places are taking it way too far. Like, the hours a night is ridiculous. We've never had homework that should take a person hours a night. And if it is the homework that we get, then it either needs to be put to the side or it has to be addressed. Why is this taking so, you know, like, I mean, there's got to be a different way to look at it, that it's not, you know, but, you know, we've been very fortunate both here and other districts that we've lived in that we just haven't had.
Well,
some of these kids come home with like 3 to 4 hours a night.
And let me ask you, what would happen if you moved to a school district where they had that?
My mindset is not going to change. Like, we'll do what we can, but we will not.
Yeah.
We will not battle over homework.
No, I refuse to sit there for hours at night doing homework with the kids, or for my kids to sit there for hours at night. That's family time.
It's never happened to us, you know. So I'm
just curious, especially because where we're going, I have no idea what the situation
Right, yeah,
is.
It's always you never know.
No, and
I'm not sure you see it as much as you used to. I think that not all school districts, but I think there are districts that are starting to cut back. We just found out in our school, they don't even get graded on that stuff.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. Well, I think one of the best ways to do homework was introduced to us a couple of years ago. Emma had it. Emma brought home a package, and it was a package with each day of the week had a homework sheet. And
that was last year.
Yeah, by Friday it had to be all turned in.
I loved it.
So you could do it at your own pace.
And this year too, Maggie.
And this
the
year
fourth
too.
grade, it's the
Yes.
same. Yeah, I like that. I like where they
Landon,
get it all. You know, for the week,
Yes.
exactly what you got going on.
I think that's the way to go. In fact, my sister-in-law liked the idea so much that she went back. She's the lead teacher at her school. She went back and they started it, I believe, last year as well. But to me, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I think it's a great idea.
Especially, you know, and I think it does to do it to some extent where they get used to the idea of having to work on their own and not, you know, learn outside the classroom. But it doesn't, you know, I love the homework that the first graders have this is totally off subject. The homework that the first graders have right now, because it's stuff like count the windows in your house and, you know.
You know me, I'm the anti-homework mom. I have no idea what you're talking about. And I have a first grader that's in your same class.
Oh, I know. But it's silly stuff like that.
I was waiting for you to drop it and say, what are we doing? Because I have no idea. That's what we're doing? Or that's what they're doing?
That's the kind of homework that's on their sheet. And
Gotcha.
you get it a month in advance. It's none of it is figure out this nuclear equation, blah, 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 blah. It's all like...
Or write a small story
it's like, learn your address, count the windows.
Tie your shoes. Which is never going to happen in my house.
I think there was one where she literally had help mommy with a chore. You know, I mean, these are, you know, like, okay, this is more like a reminder to stay.
Well, and I've noticed my fourth grader, Emma said that they have no homework for the rest of the school year.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great. Right. You know, it's not, I mean, of course, that was really disappointing to my third grader because he's like, we still have homework. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. Soon enough. There will be no homework for a couple of months. What sucks for us is school is out in Tennessee May 24th, but school is not out here till June 2nd. So my kids will get robbed of about a week and a half of their summer vacation because, you know, their school will probably start back before it does here. But
they'll live. I'm sure by the time.
Well, and I'll be ready to send them because I know I was thinking about that last night. How bored and miserable Aubrey's going to be with nothing to do, no friends, nowhere to go. You know.
She's a nice girl. She's going to adjust much better than I think both you and her give herself credit.
I hope so.
She doesn't give herself enough credit.
That's my biggest fear.
She's a likable girl. She's going to do fine. But I think your kids, by the time school starts back up, they're going to be excited.
Yeah, I do too. And there's tons of kids on the cul-de-sac, so they can get out there and play with them.
Right.
So,
I think by the time the beginning of August comes around, they're going to be excited because it's new.
Yeah. Hopefully. I can't believe we both picked her.
I know.
And let me tell you, this is how I was pronouncing her name. Bunmi Laditan.
Don't.
And that is not correct.
Sorry.
I
don't give me any credit. I looked it up.
Totally butchered it.
I even wrote it down because I had to look it up because I didn't want to. But I just like her a lot. And I think, too. And I feel if she tries too hard, is making up any of her stuff, she does a very good job of it because there's a few. There's actually one that I just unfollowed that she's really huge and bless her heart. It got to the point I'm like, okay, this is just meh.
Well, and I think today there's this constant need to, like you said, you either want to prove how perfect you are,
right,
or you want to prove how unperfect you are.
Just be honest about who you
are. And that's when I did my blog. I said, in the essence of complete honesty, this is exactly how I am. I mean, I wanted people to know I'm not perfect and I will never pretend to be perfect because you're going to see me out somewhere one day and you're going to say, oh, well, but I want you to not be shocked that, so I try to live the way I write and I try to live the things that I do. And I agree. I liked her a lot just for that. And
I think I would like her a lot in person. Yeah. I think that's what I really want to say is some of them I know that in real life. Mm-hmm. I've actually met a few that in real life I've been like, oh yeah. I've met many other people that do what we do that I adore and love. Mm-hmm. And I just wish that we could all live together. But there's been a few that I've met that I've been a little, and I'm sure people feel the same way about me. So I don't mean to sound like a bitch, but there's been a few people that I've been a little disappointed in real life. Like, oh, okay, you're not, this isn't real.
Yeah. So. No, I totally understand.
But I think I would like her a lot. Yeah.
I do too. All right, I'm gonna tell you one of mine.
Okay.
I actually, it's funny you said you said earlier about Instagram. What did you say about Instagram pretty or
Instagram perfect? Yeah.
I have to admit, to my other two, actually,
they are Instagram perfect people.
They are Instagram perfect people, but for a little bit of different reasons. They both happen to be photographers, so that's why they're Instagram perfect. But Joy Prouty is she has Wildflowers Photography, and she caught my eye a few years back. They literally had look, I get no respect. She's acting like an ass while I'm talking.
I wanted to write down the damn name of her name, and then I'm trying why isn't my pen working? It's because I'm using the white because I'm sitting here clicking it.
I quit. I'm leaving.
No, shut up. Sit your ass back down and tell me about Wildflowers Photography.
Her name, let me start over, is Joy Prouty. She has Wildflowers Photography. She, several years back, she got an Airstream for her family, and at the time I think she only had maybe 3 kids, and they lived in an Airstream, and they painted the side of it with flowers, and it was the most adorable thing you've ever seen. And they pulled it around the country and lived in it while she did like photography workshops, stuff like that. She was very sought after. Like, she's an amazing photographer. But it was just the neatest little existence because she would take these magical pictures of her kids in the forest and in the woods, and just it was just great to me. But she has since past few years, they lived in Washington State, I believe, for a little while. They now live actually where I'm gonna go live, around Nashville, and she has the neatest furniture in her houses. It's very retro. Like, if you looked at her pictures, it looks like something out of the 70s, and you know that I love that kind of stuff. And so just to look at her pictures, it's almost like this weird timeless quality. Like, you can't figure out, you know, what year was this picture taken in.
Right.
I really like the way she lives. She's kind of got it. She's got it figured out. I don't know. From in my mind's eye, I think it's really cool.
Right.
You know, they don't have a lot. I don't think they do a lot of electronics. You know, her kids play out in the yard a good majority of the time, and I just think it's really cool. I mean, she literally traveled around the country with all those kids, and I think now she has 5 kids. They've had a couple more, but I just think she's just a really neat person, and she is, I have to say, Instagram perfect, but if you look at her, she's very like not like, you know, these beauty queens who, you know, show you how to do their makeup and stuff like that. Her family's very real.
You know that
really raw and real.
When I say Instagram perfect, you know that I mean, like, not that she's beautiful and her hair's always in the right place. I mean, like, the, you know, when
every picture frame has to be perfect.
When she's doing the picture of her child in the forest, is she also showing the 300 pictures before that where her child had the dress above her head?
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Like my kids don't use electronics at all.
And it may be that she's Instagram perfect, right? But it
works. You know,
I she's one of my favorite Instagram accounts. But to me, she's one of, when we first talked about it, and the topic was people doing shit the right way. I just thought, wow, she's kind of got the right idea.
Right.
They live pretty simply. You know, I think they grow their own stuff. They, you know, I
love what is that called when they do that, when they grow their own
homestead?
Food? Homestead. Yes, I love that concept.
She's one of those. Yes. And I like that. She's kind of gone back to
she has chickens, I bet.
Yeah, she does. Yeah. Which is pretty
awesome.
Does
she have goats too?
I don't think so.
Like, I'm going to list all the things I would have if I homesteaded. I'm like,
chickens.
I would have chickens and goats.
I would have chickens and goats too.
And alpacas.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. There's alpacas down from the new house.
Yeah. I love alpacas.
I do too.
Judgmental assholes. But I love them.
Yes. Yes. So she was who I picked. Just because she was like this, like I said, retro 70s existence, and I thought it's just freaking awesome. I love her. I don't know. So I'm a weirdo.
Why does that make you? How do you feel that?
I guess because she wasn't like, because I guess on the surface maybe she's more Instagram perfect than. But I just, like I said, to me, I like what she kind of like, how she and her kids live, and her husband obviously, but they just kind of live, you know, a little bit simpler. You know, they don't.
But you can do that, you know.
I can. Yeah. Next, go ahead.
But you're like, I'm not taking away my kids' tablets.
No.
Okay, so my next one, his name is Shaheem Wallace, and he's actually a local guy.
Okay.
No one's going to know who he is, but you should know who he is. So a couple months ago, I came across this article on him. He lives down in, I guess it would be it's government assisted living in the Greater Third Ward.
Okay.
Which, if you know Houston, it's not a super...
Yeah.
It's a very poor area. It's not. They used to. I don't think they still hold the title of largest crime area or whatever. But it's not a safe area. It's kind of considered like a food desert there because it's grocery stores aren't there. It's all things that you can buy at the carryout. So it's all junk food or whatever. But this guy Shaheem has a business that he runs. Is called Fruit Life. And he does Instagram, and you can find him on Facebook there too. Instagram is actually fruitlife_official_page. He every day puts up a stand and sells fruit to the people in this ward.
Oh, wow.
That otherwise would not have these things available to him.
Right.
He literally goes to Costco, buys fruit, and sits there at a stand and puts together these fruit cups and, cuts up watermelons and berries. And he's all about giving them these healthy choices and helping teach them. And he charges literally nothing for this. I mean, like these fruit bowls that he's making are anywhere from $2 to $5 depending on his cost. So
that's crazy.
He's like, I'm not making any money off of this. It's just, this is what I want to do. It's my passion. That there's very few options down there because no one wants to invest. So these people don't have that choice, but there he is on the corner, and I've always wanted to drive down there to meet him because I just find that very fascinating because it's ballsy.
Where did you hear about him?
I just came across an article online, and I'm not really sure, I couldn't tell you where, but and then he's done a couple of news interviews. But what happened was he had lived in New Orleans with I think it was his uncle for quite a while, and that's what his uncle did there. So when he came back here and he moved into that area, then he really just kind of he's like, we need this here because there really isn't.
Right. Yeah, that's a great idea. That's
So
pretty
I just
awesome.
think that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it could be a failure. I mean, honestly, it's kind of interesting to see this guy that really has no reason to take this this project to heart. So I thought that was neat.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
It's a nice way to live. Like, it would be really nice to have a passion like that where I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be that guy on the corner selling, selling like he buys this fruit.
Yeah.
And just cuts it up and gives it to people,
Well, and not to sound corny or anything, but you never know. I mean, that literally could change someone's life.
Exactly.
I mean, it really could.
Well, especially if you got these homes where, these people don't have a lot of money, so what are they buying for food? Processed,
Right.
So if they have that available to them and they're trying things, and then one thing he said in one of the interviews is he tries to get something that he knows they wouldn't necessarily
have access to.
Right. So it's not like it's, he's selling apples or oranges. It's melons and berries and yeah. So
well, and it also shows, it shows the kids, that hey, it's okay to make a change, and maybe I could make a change too. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah. All right. I sound like I'm so redundant. My third one. She is Instagram pretty too.
Okay, so what's her Instagram?
Her name's Jodi Mockabee, Jodi Mockabee. And she's not a photographer, but she, again, takes amazing pictures with her iPhone.
Is that what her Instagram is her name?
Yeah, Jodi Mockabee. They live in Northern California, and I think she has 6 kids. Can't you tell I love families with big kids? But she homeschools her kids. They have no electronics, no TVs. They play with really old-fashioned toys, they'll go to the thrift store and buy like wooden toys and things like that. Her kids in her house is amazing. They took this cinder block home because if I remember correctly, they didn't have a lot of money, so they bought this dilapidated looking cinder block home and they turned it into the most amazing house. It is so neat to me. Like, if I had to pick a house, I would be like, yeah, this house. In fact, her floors were the floors that we put in our last house.
Yeah.
I loved her floors so much. But she's doing it right. I think she's doing it right. Her kids stay outside most of the day. And when she homeschools, she unschools. So they go outside and they do science experiments like in the dirt and in the mud and with the, things like that. and there's no like real, they paint to do, to learn things. And just, I like the way she homeschools. It's not sitting, let's sit down with the book and read this and then write about it. It's hands on. And I think it's really impressive. I wish I had that kind of patience. I would love to do that with my kids, but I just couldn't because I'd choke them before the day was over. So yeah, no. But I like her too. And again, I was drawn to her page initially years ago because her pictures were just amazing.
Right.
But she's a lot deeper than the pictures. So I really like her. But yeah, most of mine were because it's weird. Mine all kind of had that element of unschooling and homeschooling your kids. Like, I don't know. I guess.
But I have to think like there's got to be a middle ground there, and that's something I always struggle with too, because I also think sometimes if the concept is very interesting to an extent.
Mm-hmm. In reality, I don't know that I could stay home with my kids.
No, but my other, I there's got to be a middle ground there, because I think that helps a lot. But at the same time, what's going to happen when they turn 18?
Yeah.
In this world, you know what I mean?
Well, like, social skills, I do know.
No, not social skills, but like if you're not introducing some sort of technology to them, what's going to happen?
Oh, okay.
If I think discovering things on their own is beautiful, and I absolutely encourage that with my own kids, and I kick their asses outside all the time. Mm-hmm. I actually don't even have to most of the time. Jackie prefers to live out there. I think he may be what's the word? Feral. Yeah.
I think that, that's a really good point, because it's almost like what we were talking about earlier with when I decided to, start my kids back on, just, not being so restrictive with the food dyes. And it's kind of the same concept where you wonder, what the hell are they going to do when they finally do get it? Are they going to go nuts? They could totally go the opposite way.
And it's all extremes. It's the people that never encourage play learning. Mm-hmm. The people that don't encourage structured learning, the people that count every little thing that their kid eats and make sure that there's no sugar, the people that let their kids eat Doritos and Mountain Dew every day.
Right.
Like, these are all extremes. And at some point in time, your child's not...
Life has to be lived in moderation. Yeah. I really firmly believe that. Firmly.
I mean, I say that with the recognition that I will eat like 50 chicken wings in a sit. So like moderation is not something I should be preaching.
Yeah, you don't eat 50 chicken wings every single day. I mean, everybody. Okay.
No, I'm kidding.
Shut stop and think.
I did it yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think everything has to be done.
I love the concept of doing that stuff, though.
I do. I like moderation. Yeah. It's moderation. I definitely, I don't think it's harmful at all to be able to throw an element of, I don't even know what the word is. Not old-fashionedness, but that retro set that we had where, the children weren't so, they were more hands-on. They played and they had used their imagination a lot more. They used their imagination a lot more.
You had to figure shit out on your own.
Yeah, exactly.
You really did.
Yeah.
Helicopter parent. Yeah. That's what I was trying to think of the word. Did you see could you smell the gears burning as I was thinking of the word? Yeah.
Damn helicopter
Which
parents.
I'm not. I don't have time for that. I want my kids to.
I agree. I want to raise independent, well-rounded children.
Because they got to get out.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, that's your goal. Your goal is to raise a successful adult.
That will get out.
Not to raise dependent children who will never leave you.
No, they need to leave. They have got to leave.
I agree. So
they can come back for Sunday dinner.
Yeah, but then they have to leave again.
Yes.
Go back to their own house. I totally agree. When Aubrey told me the other day, she said, yeah, I'm never leaving. I was like, damn it, I knew it. But yes, you are, because when we sell the house and you have nowhere to go.
I don't know. I think, and it's the boy part of it. I think Landon would be the first one to kind of hang out for a while with you.
I agree. He loves his mommy.
And Jackie as well. Jackie would always hang out with me.
Yeah. And I love my kids, but I think there will come a point. I think that's why God made teenagers, because they're so damn annoying. You're just like, get the fuck out.
Right.
When are you leaving? Can we count down? Do we have a countdown calendar on is there an app for that on my phone?
Right.
But yeah, no. I think literally that is why teenagers are such assholes, because then it makes it so much easier
to
when
kick
they
them out.
can,
right. Not kick them out, but
when
encourage them to leave.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. All right, so who's your last one?
My last one is Chrissy Teigen.
Okay. I do know who that is.
I love this girl. And so here's the thing. When she kind of first... Oh, shit. When she first hit the scene, like, I
slapped her, and it just caught her by surprise.
She slapped me across the face. It was very unkind. But when she first hit the scene, I just thought, oh, she was just another, very stereotypical of...
A model.
Right. You know. But she's actually, she's really witty. Mm-hmm. I love how she throws shade. Like if someone calls her, and people call her out on... someone called her out on using fertility treatment, which is something kind of near and dear to my heart. And they're like, why don't you try naturally? And she's like, oh, she actually responded with, because we can't. I mean, this isn't hey, I don't have time to try. This is we did try, and this is not what, which you get that all the time. Well, you're not trying hard enough. And so she doesn't put up with that shit, and she'll call people out on it all the time. She does it with everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And she, she admits to postpartum depression, and people are critical of her body, and she's like, well, here's the deal. I had a baby, so this is what happens.
Right.
She not bickers, but she banters back and forth with her husband, which is really funny. Like one time their Twitter game is on point, like there's no tomorrow. But he one time put on there how he had sang the national anthem for some big sporting event, which I don't do sports, so I don't know sure what it was. But he was like, it was the most amazing, thing ever, and everybody loved me. And she Twittered back at him like, chill out, like 3 people applauded, like.
That's funny.
But I just really like her. I think that she's a big case of somebody that when I first saw her, I had an immediate judgment. And now that, like,
happy to announce that you were totally wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. It's always nice when that happens, I have to say. It makes me feel like, I don't know. It's happened to me quite a lot recently, but yeah, it's always nice to be like, oh,
pleasantly surprised when you're wrong about somebody. And not when it goes the other way.
Yeah, then you get it.
That sucks. Yeah. But I kind of wanted someone that in that concept of I was pleasantly surprised, and I kept thinking about mostly because I can't call out people we know, but it happens in real life too. But like a lot of famous people, where you had that vision of who they are in your life, and it kind of, although a lot of it may be for show, some of this you can tell, like if she's honest about being on her period and wanting to eat all the whipped cream. She's honest about postpartum depression and how it made her feel, and how she didn't necessarily like her child when the baby was first born. Right. I'm like, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
And some people may be like, well, who cares about celebrities and what they're saying? It's stupid. Well, sometimes you need that voice out there saying it's okay to not be this way,
Right.
Like if they bring an eye to a problem, then I care. I think it's good. So
right. Well, absolutely. Because a lot of times, some of these subjects people don't even want to talk about.
Right.
They don't want to admit it, but sometimes when a celebrity says, hey, this happened to me, it kind of opens that door.
Right.
I think we were talking about one time before about miscarriages, that was kind of taboo for years.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But that's one of the things that I think, it's not as taboo as it was, because all it takes is one person, in the spotlight to say, hey, this happened, and, I'm a human just like you are. Right. It doesn't make you any less human. It probably makes you more human to admit that it happened. So yeah, I agree. Real people are the best. So, you know what's funny? I was sitting here thinking I could throw a number 7 in there.
Go for it.
It's crazy for the reason that I picked her.
You keep looking at. There's nothing else on your sheet.
I know. Christy Brinkley. Holy shit. I don't know. She is doing something the right way. Have you seen her lately?
Not lately.
Okay, well, she vacations everywhere all over the planet.
Well, honestly, if I had her life, I would too. So.
Oh, man. She's doing shit the right way.
I would never leave a boat.
I would
always be on a boat.
She's either always drinking like those really pretty... She can make the little designs in the top of the...
Really?
Yes. You know what I'm talking
yes,
about?
Yes, I know. Like the little kitty cats.
She does portraits and stuff like that on the top of her coffees. I'm like, shut up. But she's always like somewhere exotic, like some beach somewhere or somewhere. And she looks amazing. I think she's what? 67, 70? Holy cow. Yeah, she's doing something right. I don't know, but she would be my 6.5. Or she would be my 3.5, whatever. Yeah.
If I had another one, I would pick, and we keep doing like not famous people necessarily, but Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I almost put him on my list, and this is why. I really respect him for kind of what he's done. First of all, I think that people have this concept of him being a really stupid guy because he always tends to play these stupid, goofy characters, and he's actually extremely intelligent. So, like he was going to go to, maybe he did go to, I don't know if he graduated or not, because I know he started to model before he became an actor, but he was going to college for some sort of science engineering, more than I could possibly understand. Agree. I mean, like he's an extremely intelligent man. But he has basically stepped away from the spotlight because he's found a passion that he's devoted his time to. And he recently, it's human trafficking.
Oh, okay.
So, and and the trafficking itself and child pornography and that whole sex crime thing. So fighting against that and everything. And he's created with other people this company that works with the government and uses technology to locate these people. And I just think that that's really doing it right. And he just testified in front of Congress about that. And he's like, you need to understand that this is my day job. Like he's literally, this is what I do. It's not movies or shows or whatever. I've taken the fortune that I've had, the luck that I've had, and turned it into this because this is my passion, is helping these people. I think that's maybe doing it right.
Yeah.
Like walking away from what, not to say it's an easy lifestyle, but a lucrative, red carpet, relatively, let's be honest, easy lifestyle. Yes, you work hard, but it's easy. Let's be honest. Two, saying this nitty gritty, like the things that he sees and, things that people choose to turn a blind eye to all the time. He's like, no, it's hard to hear what happens. It's hard to see what happens, but with what we have available to us and working with the people that fight against us, we can make it a better place. And I just think that's kind of cool that he's done that.
That is cool. I didn't know he was involved in that.
Yeah.
So.
His company, and I can't think of the name because I didn't put him on my list, and maybe I should have, but he has created this company and technology. They've created all this technology to help locate these people. Not just the people that are victims, but also the culprits too. So it's all internet based and
that's pretty
everything
awesome.
like that. Yeah. So
which that's a huge problem.
It is a huge problem, unfortunately. And as a parent, it's a scary problem for me. So I'm sure you worry about it too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So. Wow, that's a downer. I'm sorry. But when we were talking about, if we had a fourth person, then he would definitely be up there because he's made that choice to walk away from a relatively easy life to...
Yours were much deeper than mine. Mine were not that deep. I'll be honest with you.
I think yours are deep.
I don't know. I think especially because of the situation or the point that I'm at right now in my life, my first thought was, okay, who's doing shit the right way? And because of my... fluidity right at the moment of not really, of being in limbo, my first thought was, okay, these people, because, hey, they've got, this is how they're living and all, I guess that's why I picked them.
Maybe I've lived in fluidity for so long and just in different, because we're already on the countdown for the next, so you just never...
Yeah.
Maybe, do you get used to it? I don't know. But no, I think these are people on your list.
Well, they're definitely people to check out.
If you were to sit there and think about things you would like to do differently, this is what you would like to do. And I think that's a perfect example of why we made the list.
Yeah. It's just, the people that
start... And Boomy, because she's awesome.
Yeah.
I've not actually read Confessions of a Domestic Failure, but I actually purchased it this morning, so I'll have it tomorrow. When I was looking up how to pronounce her name, I went ahead and hit click.
That's funny. Oh, that's awesome.
Because it's never going to be available from the library. So
no, it's probably like Moana. I went yesterday, Moana, on video. Even though we got it from Redbox the other day, I thought I'd just check at the library. 152 holds.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Yeah,
that's the equivalent of
Right.
I don't know, 152 weeks or something.
Yeah, because and not only that, but you can recheck it out. So if someone doesn't finish it in a week.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it just was never. It was worth the $10 for me to. Have you read it yet?
I have not.
Okay.
I have not. I literally just got finished reading The Woman in Cabin 10, which was an amazing book. So I really liked that. But
when I finish it, I'll give it to you, and that way we can both read it.
Cool deal. Maybe that can be our book. That can be our book review.
And then maybe we'll review it, and Boomy can come on and talk to us.
There you go. Hey, our first guest. Yeah.
Hey, Boomy.
All right.
Do we want to talk about this 1 year anniversary thing real quick before we go?
We do.
Okay.
We're creeping up on our 1 year anniversary. Yeah. So thanks to you guys, we kept on going.
Yeah.
And we didn't stop. We didn't give up.
It's been a rough year, but I think we've learned a lot, and I think that it's going to just continue to get better and better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, we are working on a 1 year anniversary show, and we're going to take that opportunity to look back on what we've done in the past year. So if you've got anything that has really struck your fancy with what we've done, we would really like to hear from you. So you can get a hold of us on any of the, well, what you really could do is go onto Facebook, onto the Life Under the Laundry Pile group page, and then we can always discuss it there. Or you can email us or use any of the other sources too.
Yeah,
so to let us know. So
yeah, I mean, if you want to, help remind us of some of the funnier moments,
because otherwise we're probably going to have to.
I know the one quote that sticks out in my head is "It's Sesame Street in the suburbs, bitches."
Damn it! I knew that was going to come
Which
up.
should be our fucking tagline. She doesn't like it. I think it's funny as shit, but hey, that's just me.
I think I liked it the first 30 times.
It's Sesame Street in the suburbs, bitches.
I thought she had forgotten that damn thing, and now it's back.
What she doesn't know is, since I can vinyl shirts, we're having shirts made. Hashtag with that. So if you guys want a t-shirt, just let me know. You can represent. So yeah, just let us know if you guys think of something that was really funny that we said, or one episode that in particular you really liked, or whatever, to help jog our memories, because it gets to the point where you really can't remember. I'm gonna have to sit down, both of us. No, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we have to.
Luckily, we have about a month before we have to do it, but
to try to dig out some of the funny things that we've said.
We should do like an episode of things that we didn't say. I can think of something you said this morning that I said we shouldn't say that on air.
You need to we should be you should have outtakes. Do you keep the outtakes? No?
I'm just going to start recording like
from the second we walk in the door.
That's what we really need to
do. Absolutely, that's what we need to do, because we're funny as shit. I'm sorry, but so yeah, we like Hopper said, we're coming up 1 year anniversary, which is pretty awesome. So we have a few more really fun episodes coming up. We have a virtual pool party that we're gonna do. We're gonna do an episode of favorite 90s movies, because and there will be an episode 2 of 80s movies, because we just couldn't cover them all.
But we had so much fun doing that, we decided we to do the 90s.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead to the next decade. But we have a super fun episode coming up. We're gonna we're gonna teach you how to cuss in different languages.
Yes.
You can thank us. You can thank us later. But our next episode is
Single and Childless, which we don't have
a working title yet.
Right. So
it's kind of like the Family Man movie. Yeah. If you guys remember
in reverse though.
Yeah, it's
because he was single and childless, and then he woke up married.
He was the Family Man.
What was her name again? Tia Leone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So this episode coming up will be basically, what would our life be like if we were not in the situation that we were in, if everything was totally
not
opposite.
That we wish to be in a different situation.
No, but we just thought it would be fun.
Honestly, I'll probably take more naps.
Stop giving stuff away. The end. That's her whole little movie right there.
I will take more naps. It would just be 2 hours of me sleeping. Yeah. So.
Oh man. So yeah. So that's episode 31 coming up next time. So.
Okay, so let's move on to our closing segment, random question time.
All right, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
Drum roll, please. I'm going to push the button.
I can't.
Dear God, it's probably going to be some stupid-ass question, but here goes. Oh, do you like to dance or sing?
I think you know the answer for me.
Are we talking white girl dance? Is that what you do?
I've got skills.
Carlton.
I've got I love the Carlton.
I do too.
Right.
I do too. So do you like to dance or sing?
I do both constantly. Yeah. So, yeah.
I agree. I do too.
Yeah.
Some of my kids hate it. Some of my kids don't.
She only hates it because she's a teenager.
Yeah. But I like to do both. Yeah. Absolutely. And I can sing pretty well. I will never sing.
Oh, no, I suck. I suck at both. Yeah, but I do like doing it. I don't care that I suck. I think you feel better when you dance, don't you?
I absolutely I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, both.
Yes, me too. That was easy.
I'm hoping, if I can remember, I'll post it up on our page, our random I need to make you guys a graphic, and then you can recognize the question each week from our random question generator. There we go. I'll just do that.
Can I go back a little bit and like just remind you the conversation we had before we got started, where I didn't accidentally do it, but I was being sarcastic and did the dance like no one's watching quote.
Yes.
And then we kind of rolled our eyes about the whole like that whole thought.
She was
like
being Leanne, whatever,
right.
Womack. That country singer. I hope you
dance like I don't know how the song goes, but I mean I know how it goes because it played for years on end. But I think it's funny that we're kind of making fun of that thought process, but then we're like, hell yeah, we dance and sing. So.
And isn't that always the way? That's the stupid ass question of the week. So random question.
But I dance like everybody's watching. So you want to see it jiggle and wiggle?
Jiggle and
wiggle.
And
jiggle and wiggle it will, like freaking Jello.
Ride that wave. Ride that wave.
Okay, that's disgusting. That's so gross. All right. Well, wrapping that up. Guys, I can't go anywhere.
She wants somebody to wrap that up.
Yeah, no, I do.
Ride that wave and then wrap it up.
I don't
even know what kind of show this is.
No, where are we?
Are you Jello or something in a box? Wrap it up and ride that wave.
Stop. Just stop. All right, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.
Bye.